You know, the show's in conjunction with FanDuel. This Tim's York Giants Trade Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Already see Dan the man saying, already cashed in my over 3.5 goal. West Ham and Chelsea. I placed the bet on FanDuel.com. FanDuel, the number one sports book in the United States, offers all that fun stuff you can do. You can watch FanDuel TV. You can do fantasy. They got slots. They got casino games. They got everything. If you were doing the FanDuel yesterday and you gave the points to the Patriots, you did well. Giants right now still 6.5-point dogs in Washington, which we're still about 3 weeks away. Very exciting game last night. They really didn't play anybody. I mean, the overexcitement and but you know what? Sometimes, and I couldn't find the hat. Sometimes you just got to be the bad guy. So, you know, and we've said this before. You got to say goodnight to the bad guy, because sometimes the bad guy has to tell you things that you don't want to hear. And for all the people, and we're gonna have young Ryan on in a minute. For all the people that are like, you got to start Jaxson Dart. You're fucking insane. And I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, but this is a guy that has never seen a first-team defense. He's never seen a first-team defense even in his own training camp. He didn't see a first-team defense during the joint 2-day practice. He hasn't seen a first-team defense at all in any of these preseason games. Every pass is 2 weeks ago. He was 7 for 7 behind the line of scrimmage. He was 5 for 5 for passes under 8 yards. The big play to the gunner was basically him just checking out into a pattern and the gunner doing the rest.
You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
You need me on the wall to tell you these things. He's not ready. He's not seen anything. He's not seen anything exotic. I said it today on Twitter. He has basically seen the NFL version of the Furman defense, where he had 6 touchdowns or whatever it was. That's what it is.
What I got.
Here, another one. Another great clip.
What I got to say you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high up on your people priority list, right?
Honesty? You want honesty?
You put him in any situation where he's going to have to face a real pass rush, read defenses. And it's worse because we sat at the 50-yard line. We were 10 rows up on the 50, James Williams and I. And we watched this game, and we watched this kid not slide. We watched him not really go through any of his progressions. We even watched the fact that he wasn't even turning his head at some points in time. And his other option besides going to the short passes is to run. And the kid doesn't even know how to slide. He almost got himself decapitated, and he fumbled. He's not, and it's not a slight against Jaxson Dart. I'm not bashing Jaxson Dart for this. He's just not ready. And you put him in there. I think of Apollo Creed. When Apollo Creed is going to go fight Ivan Drago, and he tells him, you put that heavy bag in the ring with me, with eyes in the ring with me, I'm going to show you the meaning of pain. And what happened? Apollo Creed died. He died in the ring. And for people that are just like, you gotta play him. You gotta play him. Why do I have to play him? What is the meaning and rationale to put him in against some of the top flight teams in the first 6 games without shooting the hell out of his confidence? Pulling a David Carr. What am I gaining from that? What are you gaining from that from an organizational standpoint? So your thought process is, what we're going to do is we are going to forfeit this season to play a guy that's nowhere near ready. And it's not a slight against Jaxson Dart. It's not a slight against anyone else. It's just the fact that he's just not ready. You're goddamn right, I did Omega Supreme. He's not ready. And it's just the fact that if you watch him play from an honest perspective. You don't watch him play from being the pundit that's trying to get people to watch your podcast, or Chase Daniels who's just dying for some type of the validity to his life. If you watch him play and you see the fact that he literally, I'm sitting right here with James Williams. We're watching the whole game. We're watching the whole field. We are seeing when he goes. And when you take a 4-second play and slow it down till it's a 25-second play and don't see it at true speed, yes, you could say, well, look, he turned his head and he's reading defenses. No, more it's like this. He's not ready for NFL defenses. He's not. I'm going to put the link early in the chat. We're going to make sure we get to everyone because I want to have Young Ryan on from Young Ryan's podcast because he did a video and I told him I'm not going to take it easy on you, Ryan. I tell you, Ryan, I already warned Ryan that I'm saying, listen, Ryan, I'm going to put the link in the chat for big old Ryan. I've already told Ryan, I'm not taking it easy on you here, bro. Because if you say something stupid, I couldn't find the black hat. I did find my fuck your sensitivity mug, but I couldn't find the black hat. Kareem says, I like Dart, but Dable has him running an up-tempo offense so he can catch defenses on the heel while keeping his read short. Wow, boom. He threw 7 passes behind the line of scrimmage 2 weeks ago. And I told James when he did the little pass to Gunner that with the yak that he was going to be like, people were going to be like, oh, look at that large play. Look at that like 60-yard play from the Gunner. Look at that yak. You are basically playing less than the Home Depot offense. All right, we're going to have Ryan on real quick. Ryan, I'm not going to have you on with the sunglasses on. No. R0B doesn't do it. Nope. We don't allow that on this show.
I was doing my Cop Pizzle impression.
R0B tries to do that, and I tell him the same thing. Stupid is as stupid does. We don't do that here. All right, Ryan, you have a video out. And yes. Your video is what? Tell us what your video is.
The Giants must start Jaxson Dart.
Okay.
Play the soundboard.
Was this facetious or was this real? Or is this
I'm coming around to this idea.
Hold on.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
Sorry, wrong clip. But go ahead. Go ahead, though. Okay, you have to explain. I love Chris for the love of him. Hey, I wear my sunglasses inside so I can see at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. All right, explain to me.
Look, you might not.
No. There's not. You might not. Explain to me from a football perspective.
The best way.
Wait. No. Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish. Explain to me from a football perspective, in a Giant perspective, what is the benefit starting Jaxson Dart against these first 6 teams?
When you put a play, well, first off, the best way to develop a player is to play them. The best way to get better is playing against the best. That's the best way to get better. Patrick
Mahomes. Did he
play
the first season? Did he play the best the first season?
Yeah, you could say Jaden
Daniels. Wait. I'm asking a question.
No, Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not done yet. Patrick Mahomes. Eli Manning. When he played the best of the best his rookie season, what happened? He nearly got killed.
He didn't play right away, right? It was like early, but not right away. It was
at the last. They were 7-6. It was the last half of the season. They only won that last game, but he almost got annihilated and got benched in Baltimore. For every Jaden Daniels, I could throw out a Ryan Leaf. For every other single player that you tell, no, because you can't have an anomaly, not when the fact that you have multiple other instances. But go ahead, explain to me how throwing out a kid who has yet to play a first team defense, has yet to
well,
not even in practice. You know this. Not even practice has
no,
gone up and taken the first rep snap.
from what we saw through training camp and through even the preseason, he hasn't played with the first team. But I did see something at practice before leading up to the Patriot game. It was one practice. We didn't have any access to it, but Dan Duggan did put out a tweet. I don't think he's allowed to say that, he got first team reps, but he did say he connected with Slayton, Hyatt, and Bo Collins in practice. And
He can say
that
he can say they had first team reps. That's fine. It's you can't video because of NFL purposes.
yeah, so but that him throwing to those guys that people thought, maybe that hinted towards something. But
Okay,
if you're gonna
Slayton's the only starter. Bo Collins might not even make the team, and Jalen
first
Hyatt.
team reps though, well,
no, Bo Collins did not get first team reps towards the end of camp. But go ahead.
So the best this is a quote that I heard a long time ago. You got to put yourself in positions you're not comfortable, and if you're going to develop, you want to make them uncomfortable. Brian Dable even said it early in the draft. Once they drafted him, we're going to make this kid uncomfortable. We're going to just throw him in at random times, and I think the best way to develop, you're playing the best defenses. You're putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. The only way to go is up, and you playing against these defenses, you're learning valuable lessons in the NFL. And he even put out a Instagram post yesterday that he promises he's going to slide from now on. So there's things he's going to benefit from playing. Yes, there's benefits to sitting as well, and that's why I was on that side for a long time.
Did David Carr benefit from playing?
Is Jaxson Dart David Carr?
Did David Carr benefit from playing? I'm not making a comparison.
No.
So David Carr, did Tim Couch benefit from playing?
No.
Did Ryan Leaf benefit? Wait, I'm not done yet. I'm not.
He's on the couch. No, I was going to make he's on the couch. He's on the couch.
Did Ryan Leaf benefit from playing?
No.
Did Peyton Manning, who had a horrific first season, benefit his team from playing that first season?
No. 26 picks, right?
Yeah. Okay, but go ahead. And this is a team that hasn't. You have a team that potentially you think have a high quality defense.
Did Jaden Daniels benefit from playing?
You thought, yeah, but Jaden Daniels, you have to remember last year with the Redskins. I'm calling them the fucking Redskins. Last year with the Redskins, they went out in free agency and rebuilt their defense and brought in a huge veteran presence and also had an established running game with Brian Jr., who just got traded.
Our defensive line is our identity. We have a defense. Well, and actually, Washington, their secondary wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't.
So
good.
It's similar. It's a similar spot there because our secondary is questionable right now. But you look at now another thing. What was the train of thought? Okay, I got it. So you're playing Russell Wilson. Look, he's an aging quarterback, 36, 37 years old, and I think he's better than
November.
It's a big and it's a big upgrade over Daniel Jones. Yes, he probably gives us the best chance to win right now. He does, but what do you think's the ceiling with Russ playing right now?
You are gonna tell the fan base, the season ticket holders, the people that buy NFL Sunday ticket to watch the Giants, buy the merchandise, buy the gear, that we're gonna start a kid that doesn't give us the best chance to win, and we don't know if he's actually gonna be a pro yet. But we're gonna wipe this season out because we want to start Jaxson Dart.
No, you don't. But they're not gonna. They're never gonna come out and say that. But if you look at what
you're saying, that's what the Giants are gonna end up saying.
Well, my question to you would be, what do you think the ceiling is with Russell Wilson? How many wins? Because to me, it's 9.
9 wins.
Yeah, 9. And
I see maybe 4 for Jaxson Dart.
So Russell Wilson 9 wins. What is that? That maybe gets you a wild card spot, and maybe just missed the playoffs.
When the Giants made the wild card a couple of years back, what happened? What did they do? 2007.
They won a playoff game.
What did they do?
2022.
It's 2007 though.
So then won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. So they won the Super Bowl.
So wild card to 2017.
No, I'm not. I'm not comparing anything. I'm just asking questions. You're making comparisons. I'm asking questions.
Okay. So Russell Wilson, he wins us 9 games. Let's just say for this scenario, they barely missed the playoffs, right? They missed with 8 to 9 wins. Is that a more successful season than playing your franchise quarterback and developing him? And, who knows? Maybe he comes in and ends up like Jaden Daniels, where he is winning games. I don't know how likely that is, but you don't know what can happen. And I think even if I'd rather a Jaxson Dart 6-win season where he's developing and playing and learning from mistakes and just being out there than a Russell Wilson 8-win season where both sides of the coin you're missing the
So
playoffs.
you are basically saying that we should give up on the season to mature Jaxson Dart.
I'm not saying give up on the season because I don't think
basically what you're saying. If you were putting this kid in the first 6 games of the season, that's basically what you're saying. You're giving, and you've already said what's the difference between 8 wins losing the playoffs and only winning 4 wins and not making the playoffs.
6.
But you just said that. What's the difference?
So the difference is
does Russell Wilson give you a better chance right now to win than Jaxson Dart?
Right now, I would say yes, but is it how big of a difference is it?
You want to have your mind a lot. You want to have your mind blown away. Jameis Winston gives you a better chance, opportunity to win games than Jaxson Dart does right now. Jameis Winston actually pushed the. Watching yesterday against the 3rd, 4th, and 5th teamers of New England, Jaxson Dart was not this melodious player that was pushing the ball down the field. Jameis Winston was actually pushing the ball down the field. You saw a difference between the offensive sets between Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, and the lack going from the simplicity of what Dable was doing with Dart to actually the professional. And I'm not even a Jameis Winston fan, to the professionalism of what Winston can do. And if Bo Collins doesn't run the wrong route, Winston's got 2 long touchdown passes.
But there was other plays where Winston just was launching the ball. I know that there was one Bo Collins one where he run, and Bo Collins, by the way,
Bo Collins ran the wrong route.
Game yesterday. That might hurt his chances of making the team. But there was also another throw. I think it was towards Hyatt where it was actually not a Hyatt drop, surprisingly, and it was just sailed out of bounds. And just Winston, there's no benefit at all from playing him. And Big Lou,
the benefit is to win games.
Is it let's say Jaxson Dart wins 6 and Russ is winning 8, because I'm not going to even bring up Winston right now, but Russ wins 8, Dart wins 6. Having Dart ready for the long run to me is more important, because next season Dart will already have this season under his belt. He'll already be way more developed than he would be, I think, sitting.
Question. What if Jaxson Dart's not the answer and he falters this season?
Well, then you got a lot of problems on your hands.
Okay, but let's say that happens. Let's say we throw him in before he's ready. He gets crushed. He falters. Then we have a question mark going into year 2. We wasted a season in year 1 and this first year. And as a season ticket holder, I'm not going to fucking accept that. I'm not going to accept playing a kid because you think he may win you 6 games instead of 9. Because that's not how the game is played. And people are talking about Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was taken 1st overall. This is a kid that was picking 25th that probably could have gone
second
round. Excuse me. I'm sorry, 2nd overall. So this is a kid taken 25th that probably could have gone in the 2nd round.
But wait, where was the first point you made was the Jaxson Dart, if he falters. What if he never ends up good? What if he's just not a good quarterback? We don't know. I don't think you can go by the what ifs. You just gotta see what.
But no. You can't say that, because you are going by the what ifs right now. You are saying, what if Jaxson Dart's a good quarterback? What if Jaxson Dart can compete against first team offenses? What if Jaxson Dart can win you a game when you have?
I'm just saying, throw him in.
When you have a proven commodity and a 2-time Super Bowl participant sitting on the bench, so you can play a rookie that is probably going to get crushed in the first 6 weeks. Because if you cannot tell me that he has had some of the most simplistic vanilla reads that I have seen from a quarterback since watching football since 1976.
Strider brings up a good point here. I want to ask Strider's question there. Will Brian Dable get fired? Then let's just say 6 games isn't good enough. And Dable
I think Brian Dable, if he wins 6 games, is going to stay.
I think, especially, let's say Dart is playing. If Dable wins 6 games with Dart at quarterback and Dart is showing flashes and,
I think if Dable wins 6 games with Russell Wilson, I think he's staying. I don't think it's just Jaxson Dart. I think he's staying if he wins 6 games.
I think 6 games would be enough anyway. Because it is if you look at the schedule, it's tough, and I think Mara will be fine with that. But I think if you're playing Dart and developing him and he shows flashes, there's more of a chance they stay than if you win 6 games with Russell Wilson.
Can we just talk about the vanilla-ness of Jaxson Dart for a second?
Sure.
We'll go to the Jet game.
Let me pull up a stat.
I don't have all the stats yet. 7 for 7 on passes behind the line of scrimmage. 5 for 5 on passes 0 to 9 yards. 10 and 2 for 3 for passes 10 to 19, 0 for 1, 20 plus yards. His average depth per target was less than 4 yards. His average depth per completion was 2.1 yards, with 78% of his yards coming off a yak. And one of them was off a shovel pass.
They're easing him in.
Yes.
They're easing him into the NFL.
That's game 2 of the preseason. Yes, they're easing him into the NFL, but you want to throw him in at home against Washington. You want to go the Washington opener against an improved Washington defense.
Put yourself in positions where you're not comfortable.
Wait a minute. No, it's about not being comfortable. It's about not being stupid. And Brian Dable is not going to be stupid and risk his career, because if he puts Jaxson Dart in early, Jaxson Dart flames out, and the rumors are true that Shedeur Sanders was the pick of the general manager. This guy is fired. He's going to pull a fossil and may not even ever get another job as an offensive coordinator. Brian Dable right now is not stupid. Brian Dable, and I've said this before, he has figured out what to do with Jaxson Dart. Never put Jaxson Dart in a position where he is going to look bad. Put Jaxson Dart into positions where he'll succeed. Give him single reads. Make them short reads. Don't let him throw more than a couple yards off the line of scrimmage. Keep him so he stays out of harm's way. Build his confidence. Build the NFL quarterback the proper way against second, third, and fourth teamers. He doesn't even allow him to compete against the first team in his own practices. He is building the quarterback of the future the right way. It's the moronic fucking fans that are like, throw him in. Let's see what the kid can do. No, your own head coach said 2 weeks ago, this kid, yeah, I love him. He does all these things, but he has a long way to go.
Well, I mean, as a rookie quarterback, you'll always have a long way to go.
No, not really.
I mean,
not really. No, not as a rookie quarterback. You have a long way to go. Rookie quarterback, if you've done it right, you're going to be playing right, and you're going to be put in positions where you succeed. You want to just throw this kid into the fire, pray to God that he doesn't get shell shocked like David Carr, and then we're not pulling a Josh Rosen and trying to find our Kyler Murray in the next year's draft. And I'm going to waste another season as a season ticket holder because we want to just make Jaxson Dart uncomfortable.
Put yourself in positions where you're not comfortable.
There's also a thing that they say in the NFL. Don't put your ass in a position that's going to get you fucking fired.
You're talking about Brian Dable right now?
Yep.
But
Brian Dable's not a dummy.
You don't think Dart, let's say they throw him in, you don't think by, I don't know, week 5, he'd be already much improved from facing these good defenses? You think he'd be shot?
Let me tell you about youth.
And also,
youth is wasted on the young.
Caleb Williams was brought up in the chat. Caleb Williams' offensive line was atrocious going into week 1.
What do we know? What do we know about our offensive line?
I was just getting there.
Okay, wait a minute. So what do you think he's going to do against the Commanders?
What, stat-wise?
No, win or loss.
Oh, it's his debut. I would give him the win there.
You're going to give him the win?
I think he would beat this Commanders defense.
In the Washington. Oh my God. I can't. I just can't. I just can't. When you come back to your senses, you come back. I just can't. You think you are going to win against Washington in Washington with Jaxson Dart when he has yet to see a first team defense against anyone, including his own team. Okay. Okay, yeah. Explain to me how. Okay, so you're gonna So what is he gonna do against Dallas in Dallas? Now these are 2 road games.
If Micah Parsons plays, I would say that's a loss. But even then, I would say he splits those no matter which way it falls.
If Russell Wilson plays against Washington, who do you think wins?
I still think the Giants.
If Russell Wilson plays against Dallas, who do you think wins?
Like I said, I think they split that.
No, who do you think
wins? Dallas.
Okay. So you have them. So you have both of 1-1 record. One is a Super Bowl MVP league. I mean, 2-time Super Bowl participant. Somehow he is going to be not as good or just as good as the rookie quarterback from Ole Miss, who is a one-read Lane Kiffin quarterback who, if you watch preseason, majority of his passes are single reads.
I remember when I was talking good about Russell Wilson, that Super Bowl MVP was years ago.
It was
That
years
Super
ago.
Bowl, he's
It was
now
years ago.
he's
It was.
Steelers Russell Wilson.
He
And
is. But
it's an
Steelers
upgrade.
Russell Wilson is still better than Jaxson Dart.
Steelers Russell Wilson is, like I said, like way before, like months ago. He's a big upgrade over Daniel Jones, but is playing him. Like, I'm coming to my senses here, not according to you. I'm coming to my senses here. Is playing Russell Wilson more beneficial to the Giants than
Yes.
developing your rookie quarterback in Jaxson Dart?
Yes, you cannot develop your rookie quarterback week 1 against your division rival. You bring in a rookie, he gets his ass handed to him. You're 0-2 in your division. Your fucking season's over before you get to San Diego or LA. I hate San Diego. I like calling them San Diego Superchargers. Your season's over because you're already 0-2 in the division.
So when would you realistically want to see him play? What week do you want to see?
I would want to see
at all?
Jaxson Dart play when we are out of playoff contention.
So figure like after the bye week, maybe a little before.
Well, we have a late bye week.
Yeah, week 14.
Yeah, so I mean, we're probably going to be out of playoff. If we're out of playoff contention, we're probably going to be out of playoff contention by October 26th, which is the second Eagle game.
The second Eagle game. So that Eagle game, you wouldn't mind seeing him, or
no. I would want to see I've already said Brian Dable, if he's getting fired before Thanksgiving. So if we're in a bad position after that October 26th game, I would put him in against the 49ers at home at MetLife on November 2nd.
And that's a fair spot. I just think, these early games, I'm not even saying you have to play him week 1. Just play him early in the season.
Does he beat Philadelphia?
No.
Who gives you a better chance to beat the Eagles?
Russell Wilson, but I don't think either give us. I don't think we beat them either way.
It's not a caveat. This is a Russell Wilson Jaxson Dart question. Who gives you a better chance to beat the Broncos in Denver?
Russell Wilson in general gives us the best chance to win.
Okay, so Russell Wilson gives us the best chance to win.
But I don't think it's by far.
We should start.
When the development.
You are watching too many other YouTubers, and you're on Twitter too much. I already said to my son, Twitter rots your brain, or X rots your brain. There is no way that if you watched the competition that Jaxson Dart has played against, if you watched some of the throws and decisions that he had made, he's exciting to watch, but it's because of Brian Dable. It's because
he's done a good job easing him in.
But here's the problem. Week 1, you're not going to see these vanilla brand Home Depot defenses.
No.
You are going to see full out blitzes. And I've watched this kid go up against some of these stunts. He can't figure it out yet. We watched him last night take a bad sack where he basically rolled into the stunt and it's only going to get worse when actual NFL players are hunting this kid. There is a reason why rookie quarterbacks have limited success outside of certain players. And it's because they're put into they're put into better situations. They're put into where they have to play within themselves. And they have had a full complement. People bring up Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. They ran with the ones the entire preseason, their entire training camps. This kid has never seen a number 1 defense at all. And you think he is going to go into Washington?
Well, he's going to have to play a number 1 defense eventually.
He is going to go into Washington with an improved secondary. And he is going to see shit that he has never seen before. And as a Giant fan, as a season ticket holder, I'm supposed to say, that's all right. We're building for the future. This is fucking Daniel Jones all over again.
At the beginning of training camp, I remember it was the first few practices. He was looking bad there against the second team. He was looking bad. He was throwing picks.
Well, he was looking bad against the third team in the beginning of practices.
The second and third team.
Yeah.
But
let's be honest.
He then, throughout practice, he even said the game was slowing down for him. He goes into this preseason against Buffalo, second teamers, and then in against the Jets, second and third team, more so third. But he's eased his way in, where he's already much improved from day one of camp, that playing is the best way to get better. I've always said that for every sport. The only way to get better is playing and keep, keep getting reps. So I was reading his thing, but I just think the best thing for the Giants right now is to develop your franchise quarterback, and
You don't even know
playing
if
him, to
you don't
me, is
even
the
know
best
if
way to
this
do it.
kid is your franchise quarterback yet.
Well, the hope
The
is that he is, so
thought
you
they
have
had-
to try and develop him.
The Cardinals thought they had their franchise quarterback in Josh Rosen. The Chargers thought they had their franchise quarterback in Ryan Leaf. The Redskins thought they had their franchise quarterback in Heath Schuler. There's a lineage of people who thought they had their franchise quarterback, but you are waving the white flag in the beginning of the season to bring in a kid that more than likely is going to get his ass handed to him because he's even yet to see a first team defense. And you're doing it under guidelines of, well, you have to develop him. That's what the end of the season is for when you're out of playoff contention. The NFL is about winning games. Because if you don't win, you're going to be on the unemployment line. And Brian Daboll right now, for all the joy and euphemism that we have right now, because of the fact that he's the mountain right now because of everything he's doing, preseason doesn't mean anything. I've seen teams go 4-0 in the preseason and then go 3-13. It literally means nothing. And you have a kid who hasn't seen a first team. They thought so highly of him that they gave him 0 first team reps against the Jets. That's not a kid you take week 1 and say, here you go. Pat Shurmur had it right with not starting Daniel Jones right away. He let the kid sit and watch for a little bit.
For 2 weeks.
That's still for 2 weeks. Because to your point, to me, experience also includes on sometimes sitting down and watching someone else play, watching a professional. Pat Shurmur only played the kid because of the fact that Pat Shurmur's job was in fucking jeopardy. We know what happened after that season that Pat Shurmur played Daniel Jones.
So what would be the early, and what would the record have to be the earliest you'd see? Would it be that Saints game week 5 if they're 0-4?
No, I would.
No, it'd be okay. So week 9, Niners. That's your earliest.
That's the earliest I'd put the kid in. I
just think you can develop them earlier than this and by playing them. But I wouldn't mind week 9. I wouldn't mind week 9 either.
Developing them in the last 8 games of the season is not early enough.
No, I think that's fair. But there's some people saying we should wait till after the bye week. I think that's a little late.
No, I'm not saying after the bye week. If after that second Eagle
game,
I
know, but that's my main argument. Of why I even think Dart should start.
After that second Eagle game, you have already played. You've already played 1, 2, 3, 4 divisional games. So after that Eagle game, if you're 0-4 in the division, you're done. You might as well just give up. Not give up, but you might as well just try to develop the quarterback. But you're having me wave the white flag week 1. And then you're going to tell me, and we've said it before.
It's Daniel. Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
You're going to tell me that Jaxson Dart gives you a better chance, if not equal, than Russell Wilson. I'm not even a Russell Wilson fan.
Let's say he comes in and does what Daniel Jones did in his debut and lights it up. What's
Daniel
the feeling?
Daniel Jones played against a bad Tampa 2 defense, barely completed 50% of his passes, and lost, and actually won the game because of a missed field goal.
He won his first 2 games too. He blew out.
What happened to his stats the second game from the first game?
They were down a lot.
They went down a lot. Sorry, man. I can't. I can let people get away with a lot of things, but the ultimate stupidity of start Jaxson Dart is the fact that is a slap in the face to anyone that's ever followed this team. Jaxson Dart had a good preseason, but Jaxson Dart played against nobody.
We'll only see how it goes.
Literally nobody.
Because what if Russell Wilson goes out there and he completely sucks?
Then you go to Jameis Winston. I'm still trying to win games. Listen, Jameis Winston gives you a better opportunity, and I'm not even a Jameis Winston fan. Jameis Winston gives you a better opportunity to win games than Jaxson Dart does. Jameis Winston, for all the interceptions that he throws, literally has the arm. To James Williams' point, unpopular opinion, Winston actually helps us win more games early given his arm talent and our tough schedule. Yes, because he has seen these NFL defenses. Nothing's going to surprise Jameis Winston. The surprise is if he doesn't throw 3 interceptions after throwing a touchdown, because that's just what famous Jameis does. But Jameis Winston gives you a better chance, especially in the first 8 weeks, to win games than Jaxson Dart does.
I don't know if I can confidently say that. Russell Wilson, yes, he does, but I don't know by how much. We'll find out. But with Winston, I can't say that. And Winston does have a great arm talent, but he's so shaky. And even we saw the Winston experience. We got the Winston experience yesterday with the interception. Even though there was a bad route by Collins on one of the missed passes there. There was another few missed passes from him, just inaccurate. But there was also that deep ball to Hyatt.
Here's the thing, though. They were inaccurate, but they were down the field.
Yeah.
They were downfield passes.
Jaxson Dart.
But when you throw the ball downfield, what does that do?
It gives you the chance to score touchdowns.
It loosens up the defense, which gives you an opportunity to run the ball. So by your logic, Tommy DeVito was 17 for 20 for 198 and 3 touchdowns. He should start over Russell Wilson.
I'm not going all just by Jaxson Dart stats, though. Like, I'm not.
But Tommy DeVito has improved every single year, and he's improved every single preseason game, and he completed 85% of his passes. And by this logic, Stenson Bennett, who threw for 380 plus yards the other day and brought his team back and has 2 comeback wins for the Rams, should start over Matthew Stafford, because you need to develop a quarterback, because Matthew Stafford's 497 years old.
For Tommy DeVito, I can't compare him to Jaxson Dart. An undrafted guy out of Syracuse compared
but
to
who won? Who has more NFL wins right now?
Well, Tommy DeVito, because he's been in the NFL.
And so who's actually seen first team NFL defenses?
DeVito.
Okay.
But so you think he actually gives the Giants a better chance to win?
Right now over Jaxson Dart? Yes.
See, I can't agree with that. And look at Jaxson Dart.
If you had to tell me, you had to throw, let's say Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston both went down, and you had to tell me you had to put in a quarterback that gave you the best opportunity to win against Washington, I would throw in Tommy DeVito, because at least Tommy DeVito has played. And I'm trying to win games, and it's a divisional game on the road.
It's more beneficial for the Giants to play Tommy DeVito and probably not win than Jaxson Dart, where you have that chance when you don't know what you have out of this kid yet. You've seen him, and you've seen him play through preseason, and he looks good
against scrubs.
I know. I was just against second and third teamers.
He hasn't looked that great, because when you throw the ball 7 times behind the line of scrimmage and then 5+ passes less than 8 yards, and your average yard of completion is 4 yards, that's Daniel Jones territory.
There were 3 passes yesterday that were drops that were down the field, and they were good throws by Jaxson Dart. There were 2 to Jalen Hyatt and 1 to Bo Collins. The Bo Collins throw was beautifully placed, and he dropped it. And it was a tough catch to make, but it was still
like, wait a minute. Let's not think that these were passes. That the Jalen Hyatt one was over the shoulder and came off the back of his pad. So let me give you a little example here. If Russell Wilson throws that ball in front of Jalen Hyatt, it's a touchdown.
You're confident that Jalen Hyatt's catching that ball?
No, I'm not confident Jalen Hyatt's catching it. Philosophy Stoner, brother, where you been?
Man, busy.
I haven't seen you in a long time. I saw it pop up. I'm like, oh no, I got. I know it's Philosopher Stoner. I know that, but you're always Philosophy Stoner to me. I know that.
I love it, man. I love it. And this is an interesting conversation between you two, because I love the unbridled, optimistic youth, and then the old curmudgeon, like, it's all going to hell. You know, it's kind of
it's not going to hell. It's just I have watched Phil Simms. I watched Eli Manning. I've watched Daniel Jones. Hell, I've watched the likes of Jeff Rutledge, Joe Pisarcik. I have watched all these guys that came in that were saviors, that were going to turn this franchise around and be something. Craig Morton, and be something special. Dave Brown, Kent Graham, Denny Cannell. I could go through the lineage of lists, and you can't tell me that a rookie quarterback that has never faced a first-team defense, even in practice, gives me a better chance to win over a 37-year-old Russell Wilson. I'm not even a Russell Wilson fan.
No, actually, so that's the thing. I actually agree with you. I don't think he's ready to start. That hit that he took and failing the slide is like the biggest sign. But the thing that I liked and that I've liked about this whole preseason is the way, and you kind of alluded to it, the way that Dable is kind of like spoon fed more and more and more.
He's building
to
an
him.
NFL quarterback.
Right. And what I'm liking is you see more passion, you see this energy that comes off of this kid. It's electric. And the way he started the game out, electric. Now, I do believe that and it was interesting. One of the podcasters that was saying this during the game. He was like, or announcers were saying this during the game. He said, like this is one of the few plays where they actually open it up for him. So even they knew, like, hey, they give you one read normally, maybe two. Now there was one play where he threw it to Gunner, and I thought that was his best play by far because you could see him. He literally surveyed the whole field, and then he made that play on the run. I think there's a lot of potential here, but I do agree with you in terms of you gotta spoon feed this kid because you will break him because this kid is not ready. I don't even think from a physical standpoint, because that wasn't even like a really, really hard hit. And he was shaking up a little bit.
He went into concussion protocol. People know. I was at the game, so he went into concussion protocol. That's why he didn't go back in.
Mm-hmm. But what I love the most about this kid is the drive, because what I noticed the most was after he took that hit and he was on the sideline, he was like, yo, come on, let's go. He wanted to get back in.
Yeah.
And when he couldn't get back in, he was pissed. You could see him on the sideline on the broadcast for a minute, stone cold face, just like, man, I messed up. And because I messed up, I don't get to finish out this.
Well, that's why I think it's beneficial for him to play. Learn from those moments.
I'll actually expand on that a little bit because James and I were sitting 10 rows up on the 50. He was taken out of the game. They went and got he wasn't upset on the sidelines. They went and got him out of the huddle because they came down from Mount Olympus, the NFL, that he had to take a play off. And that's why they pulled him out. That's why they pulled him out of the game. And then as soon as he got the sidelines, you could literally see from our vantage point where we were sitting, he wasn't right. And then immediately after like a couple minutes, the towel went over the head. He went over the sidelines and they pulled him out. So, I mean, and then, like I said, that's from, we watched, like I said, James and I were there the whole time. We saw, exactly what went on after that play.
Yeah. So I think that's just a sign, man. He's a good sized kid for a quarterback, but like he's not a fully developed young man yet. Let him grow some more physically, mentally. Let him get there. He's got a lot of potential, but that potential is nothing if it's never reached. And you got to let them reach it. You know what I mean? Within their time. He's not ready yet.
And I see the point where you guys are coming from, but I just think that playing him and letting him learn from his mistakes, like sliding and making mistakes, is something that benefits him. Seeing what he can get away with and can't get away with in the NFL, with throws he can make and throws he can't make. I think that
if Jaxson Dart starts and they go 3-14, does Brian Dable still have a job?
I would say no, because 3 wins is
no.
That's
no.
Not that. Even if Jaxson Dart looks really good, I don't think. And if they have 3 wins, he can't be looking that great. But I don't think 3 wins would keep Dable.
I got a question too. Why did you pay Russell Wilson all that money to not start him?
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason.
Not win games.
That's the only reason I think. Well, I don't even think. I think Russell Wilson definitely is going to be the starter. I just think that playing. If I could go back, I wouldn't have signed Russell Wilson, honestly.
Really?
Kids shouldn't smoke crack. They shouldn't. At a young age, you shouldn't smoke pot because of the fact that it stunts your growth.
That surprised me. He said that. I don't know about that.
And I don't mean, like, to me, like I said, playing the rookie quarterback is more beneficial. Like, I'd rather a 6-win season with Dart where he develops and grows throughout the season.
As a Giant fan, would you prefer a 3-win season and a learning process for 17 games with Jaxson Dart?
Well, how many wins are we getting with Wilson? 8?
Oh no. There's no comparison to Wilson. This is
okay.
Jaxson Dart's team.
No,
So Jaxson
3
Dart
wins.
starting-
No,
So would you say a 4-win season with Jaxson Dart is a fun season for a New York Giants fan?
it's got to be 5 and above, and him showing these flashes and playing well.
I'm going 5-12.
If Dart is playing well, if Dart is showing the flashes we needed to,
does Dave stay with a 5-win team after going 3-14? Does he stay with a 5-12 win team? I already know the answer.
If Dart looks like legit, then I think so. But if Dart has to look legit at that point,
I love OG Knockout. The kid was a Daniel Jones supporter. I can tell.
Only for 3 years. Only for 3 years.
Only for 3. Oh my God.
Get nothing. You lose.
There you go.
Good day, sir.
Just even Stoner man. Come on.
He's young, man. You gotta let the kid learn, man.
You gotta learn from his, but he wants us to learn from Jaxson Dart's mistakes. And as a person that pours in thousands of dollars into season tickets, I'm supposed to just sit there and go, you know what? I know we only won 4 games, but Jaxson Dart looked pretty good.
Well, I was gonna ask him a question. I was gonna say, like, is there?
Go ahead, you can ask a question.
Okay. I got a question for you. Is there any scenario where Jaxson Dart plays so bad? Because you want to, and this is the scenario where we started from the beginning of the season.
This was going to be my next question. Go ahead. I know where you're going.
Week 1
right.
Washington.
No, wait. Let him finish his question. I know where
So look, this is the full scenario. We start him at the beginning of the season, just like you want, right? But I'm asking you, in that scenario, is there any situation where you're going to bench him at all?
That's where it gets tricky, because if you bench him, his confidence could get shot. And that's where you put yourself in that position. But I think I'm willing to do that. And I don't think I would bench it, because if he's playing terrible, you obviously can't just keep running him out there. But you also don't want to shoot his confidence. So that's the only thing
Wait, running him out there when he's playing poorly, that's not shooting his confidence?
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, but you said you don't want to pull him because you don't want to shoot his confidence.
No, you're gonna have at that point.
But this is where I'm confused. You don't want to pull him because it will shoot his confidence, but playing him when he's playing poorly, that won't shoot his confidence. That won't David the situation.
It's hard to kill Jaxson Dart's. This kid's always gonna give it his best.
Johnny Manziel's confidence.
Well,
And he was probably one of the most cockiest son of bitches ever coming out of college.
Well, he had problems once he got drafted.
Yeah, but they still killed his confidence.
Jaxson Dart's work ethic is a lot better than Johnny Manziel's. I don't think we can compare the two.
But I'm not comparing the two. I'm just telling you they killed his confidence.
So are you going to bench him or no?
Yeah,
I just want to know.
We still don't know. When are you going to bench him? Because they brought in Eli Manning, and Eli Manning got benched in a game. He came back the next week, but he got benched in the Baltimore game.
So he's playing poorly for what week is it at this point? Or
indefinitely. He's been playing like shit from the start. When are you benching
from week 1 to 7? He's played like dog shit. And the Giants,
you would have to.
The Giants are 1-6.
You would have to.
But doesn't that hurt his confidence that you just benched this kid?
It could, but
to get.
And that's where you guys do. I give you guys that's a good point from both of you.
I was just asking the question because look, man, I hear you. I see the vision, bro. But he's just you can't do it right now. Like it's like taking a plant when the roots aren't even set in.
Good. Oh, that's a good one.
What the plant is dead. You got to let the plant grow, bro.
That's
it. And I was
the new host, philosopher Stoned. That's our new host now. New co-host. after that brilliance, and we also have
I am McLovin.
Oh, McLovin's always coming in strong.
I'm just gonna say that's where I was all on your guys' side. If you asked me before training camp, I wanted to let him sit because Russell Wilson does give us that best chance to win. But then you start looking at it, does letting Dart play and develop, learn from his mistakes, like I said, where let's say in this scenario they win 6 games and he is playing pretty well. Is that more beneficial than an 8-win Russell Wilson season where they also miss the playoffs? But I also see now your guys' side of it where if he comes in and absolutely sucks, then that's where things, go wrong just everywhere, because then next season's an issue. You don't know what you have in him. You think he's bad. Dable and Shane probably get fired. So that's where, I am on your side with that.
Mr. Taz, Jay Ferris. Actually, Matt Sims is coming on the 26th of this month, so we're going to discuss some things. So just to let you know about that, there's still things in the works with Matt Sims. That's never going away. And the Furman deal, well, you know what, the Furman deal, I still have to get my tape, but yeah, Matt Sims is going to be on 26th. So just thought I'd get to that. Don't bring this guy on no more.
I'll be on a lot more, so he can get used to seeing me.
Anthony says, I think Tim might be an overprotective parent. If you think I'm an overprotective parent with Ryan, I don't want to see what you think a parent that doesn't talk to the kid is. Oh my goodness.
It's just tough love, man. It's just tough love. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn.
But we're going to see. We're going to see.
And I understand, to your point, McLovin, that you want him to learn, but literally your head coach, whose ass is on the hot seat, has said just 2 weeks ago, the kid's not ready. He's not even close to being ready. He literally said it. And to the philosopher's point, and what I've said, he is building the quarterback the right way. He is taking steps it's like you go to college. When you're a freshman in college, you don't take, advanced microbiology. If you want to be a doctor, year one, you take biology 101, and then you move through it the right way. You just don't jump to the head. I always tell my wife, when we're building something, we're following the instructions. I said, you start at step 8. You don't jump to 9, because we got these other 8 steps in between that we have to figure out before we get to the end. And you are just wanting to take a kid who is yet to see any type of defense beyond vanilla and tell him, hey, listen, I don't know if you have a chocolate or a nut allergy, but I'm going to hit you with Rocky Road.
I do, but I see your guys' point, because I was on your guys' side before training camp. I just started to look more into things.
This is what happens when you start following Bobby Skinner. I've already told you this.
Stop. Shout out James Williams in the chat. Welcome to the media. Is this my welcome to the media moment, like Abdul Carter had his welcome to the NFL moment?
I'm sorry, I missed the super chat. Jaxson Dart should start if the Giants were 1-5. I think 1-5 might be a little. I think 1-5 might be a little soon, because there are teams that have started like 1-5 or 1-4 that have made runs, and our schedule may not be conducive to that. But I think 1-5 is a little soon. Like I said, I'm thinking after the Eagle game, after the second Eagle game, because if you're in a bad position, you probably already lost 4 divisional games.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a question for you guys. Like, what do you think the Giants' biggest problem is going to be this season? Because I already know in my mind what I think it is. I think it's stopping the run defense.
Yeah.
Right. It's terrible.
It's been the run defense since Joe Judge, but we still don't have a true run-stopping defensive end on this roster. And I find it interesting, and this is kind of the way I see this going to happen now. And everyone told me, "No, you're crazy. The last 2 games, the majority of time, when do we see Abdul Carter?
Only on pass rush.
Only on third downs. It was last night too. All of a sudden, it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. It's even if it's 2 and 15, there comes Abdul Carter.
And we talked about it. We talked about it when we did the Bills recap on my show. Abdul Carter, he has these pressures, but he hasn't got to the quarterback yet.
Like Kayvon Thibodeau in year 1, he has yet to learn how to finish.
Almost sacked, the king of the almost sack.
That's Leonard Williams.
Yeah,
that's Leonard Williams. But he hasn't.
So with the run defense, though, you have Dexter Lawrence, but outside of him, it's going to be Nachos and Roy Robertson Harris, and that is my biggest concern.
No one's going to run to the inside. They're just
they'll just go to the outside.
They're just going to continue the outside. And honestly, what none of us are talking about, but we actually all kind of talked about, was the secondary. The secondary the starting secondary. I should rephrase that. The starting secondary has not played well.
And it's looking like Flott could be CB2, which is concerning.
Neither Debo has had moments, but neither Debo and Banks have really solidified themselves in any position.
Honestly, through the preseason, and I know Debo hasn't played much through the preseason, but Flott's been the best corner. He's had a lot of pass breakups, but I don't think him or Banks are. I don't think either of them are a big. I think they're both big question marks, and that's why I'm worried about the secondary as well. And that was going to be my
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Dude,
Wait, what did he say? I got to see that again.
You got to put in timeout. Russell Wilson can only throw the sidelines and can't move. Where was the Bo Collins 80-yard pass throw?
Damn, you banned him.
No, he just gets banned for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You only get Wonka for 5 minutes. But where was the 80-yard pass thrown to Bo Collins?
Middle of the field.
There you go.
It was a beautiful, and honestly, Bo Collins, did a good job beating. I think it was Cisco, but he's got
Sorry.
And I just wish he got in there.
Listen, Abdul Carter is too small and lacks the correct technique for facing top flight O lines, especially the sheer meat, the wall that is the Eagles' offensive line. I've said this before. My biggest concern about Abdul Carter happened in the Jet game. He got pancaked twice and laid out by a tight end.
And nobody tight end either, as well.
Well, and it's speed. Speed is great, but you know what negates speed? Strength and proper technique. And I think a lot of people, like I said, to me, Abdul Carter, like I said, I see Abdul Carter. I can see him getting 10, 12 sacks, but I also see him only playing maybe 30% of the snaps. I see a Bryce Huff who had 10.5 sacks and only 28 tackles his big year with the Jets.
You want to talk about Evan Neal for a second?
Sure. What about Evan Neal? Triple. Oh, I love that one. Ghost triplets. Oh, I like that one a lot. Ghost. James, are you home? James, if you're home, I'm gonna put the link in the chat because James was at the game with me yesterday, like he always does. I like that. I like that. Ghost triplets. I like that one a lot.
What, Burns, Thibodeau, and Carter?
Carter. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Okay, make sure you hit the like button also, guys. I forgot to say that. And I want to thank the 119 people that are watching right now. So make sure you smash that. Okay, make sure you hit the like button also, guys. I forgot what was damn feedback. All right, go ahead. Talk about Evan Neal.
Did you see the low light they made on the broadcast of him?
Yeah.
That was horrible. He looked horrible. I have no more hope with him, and I never even gained hope back. Like I saw him playing well through camp, and I was impressed. I was like, maybe we could see something at guard, but I have no hope for him left.
No, Wyatt Strong's like we can't even run block. No, at times we can't run block. Can we talk about Cam Scadaboo a second? And I'm gonna give the kid a break, but on that red zone handoff. I don't know if they were exactly in the red zone. I don't know if they were at the 17. I remember where they were towards the end zone where he took that
after the gunner play.
He ran into a fucking wall, and the wall won. Everyone's like, "Well, he's gonna ping pong off people." I'm like,
"It is his first 3. He only got 3 rushes."
Oh, I know. I am not saying anything, but if you are a Brandon Jacobs type strength back that is known for running people over, you ran into a third team wall, and the wall won.
Very small sample size.
I know. I agree.
Just like with Abdul Carter in the first game, where he had
like Jaxson Dart, very small sample size.
And just like Abdul Carter in the first game, the 3 rushes on 6 snaps, the 3 pressures on 6 snaps, that is also a small sample size. But obviously, that seeing that is great. But that's a small sample size. With Cam Scadaboo, seeing that, it's. You don't like to see that, but it is. I'm not going to judge him based off of that because it was 3 rushes.
I'm not judging him, but Mr. Taz.
It is concerning. It's something you don't want to see.
is truly the second worst GM in the entire NFC East, NFC behind Jerry Jones. Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that 100% right now because Evan Neal looks like hot. You're right. Evan Neal looked like hot garbage against nobody.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good all preseason, honestly.
He had good reps until they put on the pads.
Yeah,
and then it kind of went down.
And actually, the first padded practice, it was the most light of them all. They didn't tackle it all in practice, but that was the most light of them all. He was holding his own, but then they got more into more contact started, and the joint practices with the Jets, and even these preseason games, he looks just like he doesn't belong. I don't like his work ethic. He seems like he's pretty. He just doesn't even try. It seems at times he just looks slow and lazy.
I don't know if he's lazy. I mean, slow.
I think I could be a better offensive lineman. I could be a better offensive lineman. Put me out there.
Big old gigantic says Tim OBB. What's going on, Tim? Or this was I'm the what? I'm the plus for Dart. Oh, okay.
Heart for Dart.
I'm heart for Dart. Yeah, Listen, I have no problem with Jaxson Dart. I think Jaxson Dart has done what Jaxson Dart is supposed to do. Jaxson Dart is trying to become an NFL quarterback. I have a problem with moron fans sitting there and saying we should throw him in because it's for the good of Jaxson Dart when there's 52 other men on the roster. That would probably beg the difference and say Russell Wilson gives us a better chance to win. And that's what you're here in the NFL for, because the NFL career is only 3.5 years. So I'm not going to waste a year to develop a guy and maybe win 4 games when I got a guy that's sitting on the bench who I'm not even a fan of. I tell you, gives you a better chance to win than Jaxson Dart does these first 6 games.
I do think, and I don't know, I think that players would, at this point say Russell Wilson because he has great leadership. They've seemed to, the energy in the building has seemed to really come from Russell Wilson being here. And the change of energy, the change of vibes from the past few seasons. But I think the players are really also rallying around Dart and making him feel comfortable and just being, a part of this Giants team. And when he is ready to play, when he is playing regular season snaps.
No, so you said it. You said it best right off the beginning. When he is ready to play.
Well, when they play him is what I mean. Like when he's ready.
I know it was what they refer to as a Freudian slip, because you're right. You said it right the first time. When he is ready to play, you did. That's why it's referred to as a Freudian slip.
And I'm just saying though. I'm just saying, that them seeing him, and I don't want to see him take any more hits like he did, but him not sliding, him taking that hit. The players, they get fired up from that. I mean, I hope he learns from it and starts to slide like he said he would on Instagram or whatever. But
here's the problem. No. It's instinctive. There are so many quarterbacks that say, oh, I'm going to slide, and they never do. Ferris says, so, Tim, does that mean you think you have a shot at winning? I've said this before, Jay. If your defense gels, your secondary comes together, you generate a pass rush, you go to a run-centric offense where you use play action and a deep shot with Russell Wilson, you go 3-3 in your first 6, you got to go 6-5 in your last 11, and you got a shot at making the playoffs. I think 9 wins takes the division. Because I think Washington takes a step back. I think Philadelphia takes a step back. I do think Dallas takes a step up, but I do think that everyone in this division has to play the same outside schedule. But then what happens is you all have to play together against each other as well. So right. you go 3-3 of those first 6, you guarantee to have taken a divisional win, which is what you need to do to capture the division at 9 wins. So Russell Wilson as a Giant fan and as a season ticket holder, I want to see the kid, or not even the kid, he's always a kid to me because he's only 37. I want to see the guy that gives me the best opportunity to put up W's in my first 6, because I look at this schedule and I look at what's going on in the division. I think 9 wins can take it. And if you tell me that the Giants are somewhat of a good team, that they can't go 6-5 in their last 11, they shouldn't. They should just hang it up.
And I know a lot of people might disagree in the chat, but I know Jay Ferries agrees. Start Dart.
Nah, Jay Ferries is too smart. He's just egging you on. Big Don says, Big Don Superjet, I'm still stocking wine. Ugh, I want to go home and bring that's because the chip. Yep, you know what? NCAA football 2006 is actually just updated. Big update for their roster. So we've been waiting. Big Don and I've been waiting for that so we could play Dynasty mode, because we're waiting for the final transfers to come in and the final players to come in, the final freshmen to come in. So the big roster update has already come in. So we're getting ready to play. I don't know. I'm battling between being either Florida State, Rutgers, or Tennessee.
Ole Miss.
No, I can't do Ole Miss. Big Don's at Ole Miss. I'm not doing Ole Miss, but I'm torn. I'm torn between those 3.
My vote's on Rutgers.
I'm thinking Rutgers too. Wait, Aquarius, what's up, my friend? Aquarius says, let's go 3-0, and everyone goes crazy. Yeah, you go 3-0, everyone's gonna go fucking insane. You go 3-0.
I think he means going 3-0 in the preseason. Everyone's going crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going fucking insane.
Yeah,
they're going insane. It means nothing. I've seen Giant teams go 4-0 and then win 3 games. It's not recently. So don't say it was last year. No, but I've seen this. I've seen teams win all these games and never win anything. Preseason literally means nothing.
There was a very interesting stat I saw today, put out by John Breach of CBS Sports. Ready to hear it?
Sure.
The Giants just became the 8th team since 2009 to outscore their preseason opponents by at least 60 points. Of the previous 7 teams, 6 made the playoffs, 2 won the Super Bowl, averaged 11.11 wins.
Okay, but
Russell Wilson was the quarterback for 2 of those teams.
But what were and those were 2. They were 2 Seattle teams that had the Legion of Boom. We don't have the Legion of Boom. I was going to ask you what teams were they actually, because I was guaranteeing they weren't going to be a team that just won 3 games.
I'm just reading the stat.
I'm just saying. I'm guaranteeing it wasn't going to be the team that won 3 games beforehand.
Yeah, and especially, the Patriots. They didn't play anybody last night.
That's a huge omen. We're winning 5 games this year. Ryan. Stay off Twitter.
And you're going to say stop watching a specific.
Just stay off Twitter. Because I'm telling you, man, you're going to the deep end.
I'm going to Fireside.
You're going Fireside, man.
Well, no, I put my hot take out there.
You're going. Listen, I'm not saying that's out of hand.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And remember, you said they're the opposite of you.
I said that, but I didn't say go stupid. Because you're saying it. He's saying I found all these sound effects.
Telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. So there's a chance. I love it, Jay. You'll never go full Fireside. At least you're not going Chode Sports.
Yeah. Well, this is just one hot take. Usually my takes and your takes align. Just saying.
Oh no, it doesn't have to align. I'm just saying if you're going to tell a season ticket holder who spends thousands of dollars that we have to start a 25-year-old rookie quarterback who has yet to see an starting NFL defense or a first string defense, and you want me to be okay with that because it's about the maturation of the quarterback when I don't even know if he's going to be our quarterback, and we're going to we just should lose games. Yeah, no. Sorry.
IQs just dropped sharply while I was away.
And I haven't even gone anywhere.
I'm just saying I think we put together a pretty good debate here on the Friday show.
I think we did. I'm going to let Ryan go because I want to make sure I get to everyone in the chat. That's Final Ryan's for Big Blue Podcast. Make sure you go to his channel and unsubscribe quickly as possible because evidently fame has gone to Ryan's head.
The sweet life. It's the sweet life.
All right, Ryan.
Yep.
We appreciate you coming on as always. Good debate as always.
One more thing.
Sure.
Start Dart.
Okay, well, that was Ryan's last appearance. That was his last appearance. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They buy a lot of subscribers. I could tell you people things that would just that I know about certain channels. So, but we're not going to get into that because it's just you know what, you give Ryan credit, but he's falling to the hype. He's falling. He's just falling to the hype of Jaxson Dart, and it's not even good hype. Because of the fact that, like I said, and it's not the kid's fault. It's not Jaxson Dart's fault.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I mean, for McLovin, it's just the way it is. But I mean, it's you kind of reach a point as a season ticket holder and as a fan since 1976 that you're like, I don't want to hear that we need to start Jaxson Dart because we need to mature the maturation of this kid when your sole purpose as an NFL team should be to win games. That's it. It should be to put W's up on the board. Oh, I love that, Wyatt. Wyatt Strong, McDreamin. Yeah, Christopher Love of MMA. Fireside is possibly the biggest joke on Giants YouTube. Listen, if you put a question or something in the chat and I missed it because we're talking to Ryan, please recut and paste. Because we got Ryan, and you know what we have to say about that.
This is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
The pattern is no longer full. I want to make sure we get to everyone in the chat that if you have a question or just want to make a generalized comment that I missed you because we had Ryan on for so long, please make sure you put it in there so we can talk about that. 26,000 subscribers for Firesides now. Ryan's going to be flipping McDoubles with those dark takes. Listen, I don't have a problem starting Jaxson Dart. I have a problem with people telling me we need to start Jaxson Dart because we need to get him ready for his NFL career in week 1. So you're basically telling me we are throwing away an opportunity to potentially win games because of the fact that we want to try and make this kid look good or try to get him ready for we don't even know what. We don't even know what at all. Start Dart. We'll see what happens, though. I see the side of him as well, too. To the chat, unsubscribe to me if you want, but I'm always going to give my opinion. Shout out to Tim for having me on. Listen, no one's going to unsubscribe to you, Ryan. Ryan, I forgot. Sometimes I forget Ryan's 17. Ryan, we're just busting your fucking chops. This is what men do. This is what men do, not liberal men. This is what men do. We bust each other's balls. That's what we do. But you
need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
I've said it before, Ryan. Sometimes I got to put on the black hat, and sometimes you got to point to the bad guy. No one's gonna unsubscribe to you, Ryan. No one's gonna unsubscribe. Oh my God. Every time I think I should quit doing Giant stuff, every time there becomes a pinnacle of a moment where I'm needed, where I'm needed and I have to be there. And sometimes somebody has to ride into the black hat with the black hat, and these shoulders are broad enough to handle the slings and the arrows of everything else. But you can't tell me you built a team defensively that you think can win, that can keep you in games. And you went out and got a quality. Imagine telling Malik Neighbors, listen, I know you're all pumped up about catching some passes from Russell Wilson, getting some rainbow balls and some big games and some yaks and getting away from the 5-yard dump off pass from Daniel Jones. But we're going to start Jaxson Dart and we're going to kind of do the same thing we did with Daniel Jones. So you're going to tell this kid that we might win again in year 3. I don't think that's going to sit too well with Malik Neighbors. Because in the NFL, it's all about winning. That's your sole purpose in the NFL is to win. Is to win games. That's it. How many people we got liking this freaking thing? Make sure you hit the like button, people. I don't do this for money. I do this for likes. I do want to thank everyone. I was checking the numbers because of we did a lot of shorts and stuff. We have almost 500,000 views this month. I nearly fell over. It was like 500,000. Who the hell's watching this shit? Same with the downloads on the podcast. We had something like 10,000 downloads the other day. Like, what are people on crack? Massey, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Finally caught a live between you and Batista. Carl Banks interviews. You're hitting all the park. You're hitting it off the park, Tim. Soon you'll be wearing suits and ties and you'll be going mainstream. Yeah, mainstream. I got another interview coming up next week. But thank you, Massey. I really do appreciate that. You also forgot the Brom Weinstein interview. You forgot about that one. That was a good one. You forgot about the Anthony Armstrong interview. The Roe Parrish. I love the Roe Parrish interview we did. He's the guy. Roe Parrish is a DJ, but he's also got a podcast called Believe in Cowboys. But he's also the official DJ of the NBA and everything else. And he's worked for the Dallas Mavericks. We did a great interview with him a couple weeks back. That was awesome. And we all started with the Jerry Oslowski interview. And you got to give credit also to Matt Sims. Matt Sims has been on twice. We're going to do another show with Matt Sims next week. We're going to be talking about Jaxson Dart. And we're going to be bringing that up. And I have a few other surprises coming up. And I actually have another pretty big. Oh, we also forgot Howard Eskin. Howard Eskin, the legendary broadcaster for the last 40 years or whatever is in Philadelphia. We had him on for 2 hours. The Carl Banks interview was just incredible. The Carl Banks interview was 2.5 hours, almost 2 hours and 8 minutes long. I didn't think Carl was going to last 15 minutes, and 2 hours later, man, he was still doing it. He was still going live. So, I mean, but we got another big guest coming up next week. We actually have the interview in the can already. I just got to kind of edit it a little bit and make sure that it's cleared with the people that need to do it. So let's see, probably all bots. Let's see. Jay Ferris says, you think that start Dart hype is bad? Wait until Russell Wilson has one bad game. Here's the problem, Jay Ferris. I'm waiting for Russell Wilson to have one bad pass. And then it's going to happen. El Gigante says, what do you mean? Tim is a rock star of Jane. YouTuber, let him know, Tim. I don't ever say I'm a rock star on anything. I'm always one bad takeaway from being Ryan. Hey-oh, just kidding, Ryan. We know you love it. We know you love it. But like I said, you can't sit there and just start the kid. And I see so many people that are kind of saying the same thing. Like Mr. Taz. What's up, Mr. Taz? I know I said hello to you, but I missed you for a while. Giants have signed quarterbacks Ryan Leaf to a 10-year, $745 million contract per Chat Sports. Breaking news. That's about right. Stanley, what's up, Stanley? Hey, Tim, people need to stop trying to rush the Giants to start Dart because he is the mistake that they did with Daniel Jones, even when they rushed him to start Eli and looked where we ended up. People have this moment when things get further away, like the Daniel Jones start is like in Tampa, it's like living in infamy. It's living in the ether. The guy barely completed 50% of his passes. Tampa was a bad team that year. And we know what happened the next year with Tampa. And they only won that game because Tampa drove down the field at the end of the game and missed the field goal. Does the legend change if they lose that game? And then he won against Washington, but his play just continued to do this. And then it finally, because that's what happens with a rookie quarterback. You usually start up high because no one has any film on you. Then you kind of go down and down and down. Then you hit the bottom, and then you kind of go back up again. And that's what happens. Let's see here. Jay Ferris says, Tim's a really good interviewer. It's a skill that not many have. Well, I appreciate that. I got a skill. Too bad that's translated into nothing, but thank you, Jay Ferris. I really do appreciate that. James says, this stream is very good and you always do a good job. James, I appreciate that. Well, as well, Mr. Esquire, where you been? Hey, Tim, vintage G-Man time. Remind me how awesome Dave Meggett was. Well, before he got convicted of rape, Dave Meggett was a special third down back, punt return, and kick return. He was something that we hadn't seen for years. And I don't think we've ever really seen a true Dave Meggett type on this giant team ever since he left. I mean, he is a guy that was the jack of all trades. I mean, he is a guy that literally did everything. And he had a career where he caught 3,000 yards passing. From passing, he had another like 1,800. Rushing. This is a guy that I think, why you look at his success, he did so much from the line of scrimmage, and he had that asset of being, a punt returner and a kick returner, where he had, he was that giant kick returner that we had not seen in years. And he was something special, and he was something special to that 90 team. And like I said, he was just a guy that we haven't seen in a while. Mr. Taz says, well, Tim, people say you're a rock star, but it's pretty hard to screw up the I don't know why people call me a rock star, because it's almost impossible to screw up 5 and 7. Let's see here. Chris will love MMA. Tim was the best since day one. Fast forward, still the best. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Chris has always been a big supporter. So that's one of those things I love about Chris. Let's see. Ryan Williams says, hey, Tim, every time the Giants do good in the preseasons, they do horrible. Just a fact. But as I'm saying before, be optimistic. Hit the like button. I am very optimistic about this Giants season. I've said this before, and that's why I always love when people say I'm so negative. You go 3-3 in your first 6, you probably have 1 to 2 divisional wins. All you got to do is go 6-5 and 11. All you got to do is 1 game over 511 games, and you have a shot at the division. And if you built this team the right way and you constructed the defense the way you think it's going to play, you can't tell me that you can't be 1 game over 500 after 11, because then you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. It's plain and simple. I mean, it's Boulder Dash, as what they say sometimes, but it's plain and simple. You have to think that way. And that's what I'm hoping the Giants do. And like I said, I think Brian Daboll, for the fear of his own job, his own security, he's put that away and is trying to build a quarterback the right way. He's not trying to build it like he built that guy in Buffalo, Josh Allen. He's not trying that way. He's building Jaxson Dart into his own entity, into his own quarterback. That's what this guy is doing. And he's doing it the right way. He's doing a slow, arduous process that I think a lot of fans don't like. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what's best, not only for Jaxson Dart, but for the entire Giant organization. So I think we all need to look at it that way. And to Brian Daboll's credit, if he flames out this season and only wins 2, 3, 4, or 5 games, he's not coming back. But he's still trying to build a quarterback the best way he can. Now, on the other side of the coin, you also have to realize the fact that Josh Allen's gotten better since Brian Daboll left. It's gotten really good since Brian Daboll's left. So he also won an MVP since Brian Daboll's gone. But like I said, he's trying to build it. He's trying to build this the right way. He's trying to build he's trying to build it the right and correct way. How many games did the Giants win? I'm still saying 5. I'm still saying 5 games. Because the schedule is tough enough. Your division's too tough. And you have a lot of holes in that running game. I worry about the secondary. I worry about not having really true linebackers outside of Bobby Okereke. I know people say McFadden, but McFadden still has an issue missing tackles, a plethora of tackles. I'm still concerned about the secondary. You have a fluxed offensive line. Evan Neal evidently is not really working out at guard. And then if JMS is still as bad as he's been through camp, you're going to take Greg Van Roten and put him in center. I mean, it's just not. And we haven't seen Malik Neighbors, and we don't know what the running game looks like. So, I mean, hell, listen, I'm saying this, 5 wins. But like I said, you take a shot and go 3-3, you never know what can happen. Wasn't he the head coach when he worked for? No, he was the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator. BP says, Tim, why did you have the Ryan kid on? He knows nothing. Because I like Ryan. I work with Ryan. I do a podcast with Ryan called New York Giants Generations, where we kind of do the same thing we did here. The only problem with Ryan is this, that, and it's not a problem with Ryan. Ryan is just very, but it's called youth. He's very enthusiastic about everything. I was the same way at 17, 18 years old. I was enthusiastic about everything. But as you get older and you see things and you see more things, James Williams says it best all the time. James Williams says, as I've gotten older, I see different things and I have a different perspective on things because I've seen more. I've seen too much of the Giants in 76. And I sometimes know when they're being, I think, I can't remember who it was. Someone posted on X that, that nobody knows the future, something about Yoda, because I was talking about starting Dart. And I was like, I know the future because the last 4 years, we've been pretty scary accurate here. And people may not like it. And a lot of people don't come back and say, well, Tim, you were right. But we've predicted probably 80% of the shit that's happened the last 4 years, if not longer. It's only been 4 years. So, I mean, And it's not because I'm omnipotent. It's because of the fact that I've seen it all. And sometimes bullshit smells like bullshit. I said it the day they had the Joe Judge press conference. I had the bullshit meter. And I told people day one, I said, this guy is not going to work out. And everyone's, you don't know that, blah, blah, blah. And then we saw it happen. Same thing with Daniel Jones. I did a video right after Daniel Jones's rookie season, pointed at all the things that were going to go that if he did not improve on, that would hinder his entire career. We know what happened. I said the same thing about Saquon Barkley. I did the same thing about the day we signed to Kenny G. I came out with the smooth sounds of Kenny G contract. And people are like, how can you create that soundbite?
Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny G. $72 million. Not worth it. As you can plainly see.
I made that sound back the day he signed the contract. Because Baby Megatron has 2,000-yard seasons, and then he had a hip injury, and that he wouldn't come back for, and he played with Matthew Stafford in the dome. Said the same thing about Darren Waller. I said the same thing about Paris Campbell. I said the same thing about Leonard. I've said the same thing about so many different players, because it's not that I know things. It's just you see things after being around for so long. You're like, okay, I got an idea. I don't know. What's Ryan? I got to get out of here, but I want to make sure I get to a lot of people that have leaving messages. Stanley says, hey, Tim, I got the Giants 9-8 because I think Russ is going to win a lot of games for the team. I said this 9 wins, Stanley, I think takes to this division. Does Shane get a new contract with 5 wins? No. But Joe Shane will be here for year 5 of his deal, because that's just the way the Giants work. And that's the way it's worked since going back to Ernie Accorsi and Jerry Reese. They fire the head coach first, and they let the general manager have the last year. Prince, what's up? Big Tim off topic. I love your goofy mug in the background. It's always made me laugh. The goofy mug is an homage to Carl Banks when he called all the Giant fans that didn't support Daniel Jones goofy. So we went out and got the goofy mug. So I had to. That's why we were the goof troop. Now look at this. Me and Carl Banks are best friends. We're going to go bowling. I think if Carl Banks saw me in person, he would run the other way. Right, good guy. Carl, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and I'm gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. Carl Banks is so nice. He really is. For some of the things that we have said about him on this channel, and some of the, and like I said, I was never afraid to say anything not to his face. I'm never afraid to say anything to anyone's face. But for the things that have gone on, and for him to come on and spend 2 hours, and then every once in a while, I get a DM from him on Twitter, and and he sometimes reposts some of the stuff that we post, and like I said, he's been nothing but a scholar and a gentleman, and he's of course he's on the Believe Network as well with Bob Papa. Love that Bob Papa on. So everyone just go into Bob Papa's X account and just inundate it with him. That, hey, Tim wants you to come on and tell you how wonderful everyone is. Just joking. Don't do that. That's how we got Carl Banks on. I forget what subscriber was. He basically hunted Carl Banks until Carl Banks said, fuck it, I gotta go on this show. But he's, like I said, I have a different view and perspective from Carl Banks after hearing a lot of the things that he says now on Twitter. And I laugh because I joke with James Williams about it all the time. That's like he's coming over to the dark side. But like I said, he's been nothing but a scholar and a gentleman for us here at the show and on the Believe Network. So we're very excited to work with him. Ryan says, if the Giants cannot beat the divisional rivals, that will tell you this team will be this year, and starting with the Commanders is a good thing. Starting with the Commanders and the Cowboys is awesome, because if you push through and go 2-0 in the division, to go 2-0, you just took 2 division wins going into the home game against KC. Phenomenal. BP Tim, the Ryan kid doubles down on dumb thinking. You give him facts and knowledge. Kid gave me a headache. I still like Ryan. Yes, I can still like it. Prince says, Tim, give yourself more credit. He is seeing, all-knowing king of the New York Giants trader, and also king
of the almost sack.
I wish I was omnipotent, because I would go to FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. Giants right now, 6.5-point dogs on the road to Washington. Jay says, my God, that was one of my favorites. And the I love King of the Almost. There are so many good ones. I love King of the Almost sack. That one. We also have the we have the whatchamacallit ones. We also have the
It's Daniel Jones at the 5. It's Daniel Jones at never mind.
That, of course, was after the Philadelphia game. Then we also have I only had a sack, and then we've had all the good ones. So we got to have some good sound bites this year too. Let's see here. Asmi says, "Why are people hating on the kid? We're all just guessing about the future anyway." I don't think anyone's hating on the kid, but I think from a pure football perspective, I think it's just the fact that you kind of look at what he's saying and see the lunacy of it. And I understand it because he watches other, he's trying. And I've told Ryan this. I told Ryan this from day one, and I'm actually really glad. I hope Ryan's still listening. I am really glad he has taken it to heart, because the first time Ryan ever came on the show, he asked for advice. And I told him the best advice I can give you is to not be me. Be the opposite of what I am, then you will be successful. And when he said it, he even said, you told me not to be you. And I think that's perfect. I think he's learning something. Have a good night, Tim. What's up, Jay? Have a good night, Go Giants. Mr. Albert says, you and the people in the chat have some rights so many times. Someone still owes James Williams me money because the guys made a bet with James and Jones would have a great season. Oh, there's so many people that owe me money. There's a guy that owes me $1,000 because of the fact of last year, and he hasn't been on the show since because he bet me the Giants would make the playoffs last year. And I said they'd be lucky to win 3 to 5 games. And then, he disappeared though. Should we sign? No, I don't want OBJ or Cooper Kupp. Not Cooper Kupp. I don't want OBJ or Cooper. No, I don't want any of them. Don't want anyone. Joey says, Tim, appreciate you're interviewing someone with opposing views on starting Dart. A reminder when we all were young Giant fans. I always tell anyone that if you got an opposing view, come on. I'll let you talk, but bring facts. Don't bring conjecture. Don't bring feelings. Bring facts. I bring facts. And usually my facts are because I have a vast knowledge of football. And I'm old. So I've seen it all. So Banks doesn't duck anyone. No, Carl Banks does not. Like I said, Chris says Carl Banks, class act, Carl Banks. Like I said, if he just coming on here, I mean, that was class act. PB said it's not hate. Gen Z loves those words. Hate. Ryan was given facts and knowledge, kept doubling down on flan delusion. Yeah, I'm Gen X. That's just the way we are. He's brutally honest too. Who, me or Carl Banks? Stanley said, what's up? Colts jump off the bandwagon becoming Ravens fans because the team is starting Daniel Jones. They're just trying to get Arch. Stanley says, hey, Tim, what's up with the Colts? They're trying to get Archie Manning. Tim, Anthony Richardson sucks. Is way better than Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson is younger than some of these other quarterbacks that were just drafted. I think it's a delusional thing you're going to get rid of Anthony Richardson, or should. I would pick up Anthony Richardson if they gave me the shot. How many sacks will Carter get this year? I could see Carter getting at 10 to 12 sacks. But I also see Carter as a Bryce Huff. And I think the Giants have figured that out, because if you watch them in the preseason, the last 2 games, they just roll them out on 3rd down. I'm trying to be humble. I'm saying 10 to 12. Sir Esquire says, Tim, I feel more confident in the receivers. If Hyatt could run routes, he should lean. Here's the problem. Our wide receivers, as much as people want to think we have this plethora of wide receivers, James Williams said it best, probably saved his Giant career with that touchdown, because he had 3 bad drops. And this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get with the kid. That's just the way it is. I could see 10. I could see that. Tim is a bitter old man like me. I got no problem with that. I love when people on Twitter on X go to me, well, old man, you're just like that because you're old. And I told this one kid, I was like, that's the best you fucking got? It's like, really? Call me old? I'm an old head. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, and I told. So what did I do? I sent him a picture of me standing on the sidelines at Giant Stadium last night and said, you're wishing you were me. So, jumping in the shower. Time to take my date tonight. Take care, Tim, on the Giants family. Are you still with the same girl? We liked her. And then if you're not still with the same girl, we never liked her. No, but we liked her. She was nice. A little late coming down the show that day, but we liked her. So I hope everything's going well with her. Tim, you got to go get Dart on the show. Yeah, Jaxson Dart's going to come on the show. Okay. Stanley says Archie Manning might be going to the Saints because there will be the worst team in the NFL. You know what? Spencer Rattler's actually look good. So I don't know about that. All right, guys, we are out of here. I appreciate everyone that hung out for as long as they did. This was a last minute idea. We'll have our normal Sunday stream. We might have a guest on Sunday as well. Look out for we're going to have the Matt Sims pod dropping, I think, on the 26th or the 27th of next week. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I got another big guest that came on the show the other day that we're just working on putting everything together. We're going to put that up. So we're going to have, even though it's going to be the quiet season for these 2 weeks, we're going to see the cut down days and everything else. So like I said, we got to wait to see what happens in Giant Land, but I'm extremely excited. I'm optimistic, but I'm not starting Jaxson Dart. And as always, follow us on Believe, all that fun stuff. Good show, Tim. Sticking with the start the dart. Well, like I said, Forrest Gump said it best. Stupid is as stupid does, Mrs. Blue. But that's all right. But we are out of here, guys. Have yourself a good night. I got to update my computer anyways, and I got to make dinner, and I got to walk the dogs. I got a lot to do. But I appreciate everyone for hanging out as long as they did on this last minute stream. It was a lot of fun. Make sure you hit the like button all the way out the door. And as always, we are. Wait, you got to take that off. Hold on. And as always, we are out of here.